It's one of those mornings. I just had to share this. It's day one of Calamity Jane rehearsals today. So I'm just going to turn up, grow my beard out for the character and everything. And you got the Dominion Theatre. And I'm like, that's like a West End theatre. Oh, I'm going off to do a national tour show. Oh, I've wanted this my whole life. Oh, that's today. Scene change one. I'll let her swim on the creek bed. The catfish laugh when the sun black lead. Now I float around with a pot upon my chest. Oh, hilly billy life jackets, they are the best. Here I am on the train, on the way to my first digs in Aylesbury. Welcome to Aylesbury, a bustling market town here in Buckinghamshire, the heart of the Chiltern Hills. The etymology of the name Aylesbury comes from Aylesbury, which was the meaning of hill town or fort, utilised by the Romans when they came over in 43 AD and made their stronghold in England. The Romans built the A41, or known as Aikman Street. Its 78-mile length became useful in the sort of Britanno-Romano expansion of trade and commerce, and it now has a lovely Sainsbury's on the corner there. So I'm currently in a bus stop. I've just bought my first kebab in Aylesbury. Right now it's all about the kebab. How is the kebab? Is the kebab good? The kebab is good. Aylesbury was given its royal charter and borough status in 1554 by a very, very, very grateful Mary Tudor, and in appreciation for the town's loyalty in declaring that she was in fact the Queen. There's been a fair share of blood spilt in Aylesbury too. In 1642, the Battle of Holman's Bridge, led by John Hampton in 1642, he happened to be the cousin of Oliver Cromwell, that parliamentarian who managed to depose of Charles I in 1649, ending the divine right of kings. He also banned Christmas. The swine. In 1814, the Aylesbury branch of the Grand Union Canal was opened, which was fantastic for trade, allowing people in the north to have what they didn't have in the south and vice versa, but it also allowed for the transportation of slaves. So Aylesbury still has its element of a dark past until, of course, slavery was abolished. In lighter news, old Ziggy Stardust, the Goblin Queen himself, David Bowie, has a statue here in Aylesbury, as this is where he formed his band. And if you walk past it at the right time of day, you might even hear, through the drilling of the builders, some music of David himself. One thing I've enjoyed about Aylesbury is that if you just lose yourself walking around the back streets, which are beautifully quaint, you end up finding things you didn't realise you were going to find. And one of those was the Roald Dahl Museum. Now, Roald Dahl wrote many, many children's books: James the Giant Peach, the BFG, Easy-O, Trot, the Fantastic Mr. Fox, who is one of my favourites. And they've got a lovely little museum in respect of him. One of my favourite little poems, Boris Bunsen Bean, one fat, one short, one lean. These horrible crooks, though different in looks, were nonetheless equally mean. There's some beautiful old pubs here too. If you like to have a light libation after you've been performing on stage, as I am wont to do, then I can very much advise to anybody that's travelling to Aylesbury in the future, the King's Head. Not only is it excellent service, which is, let's face it, becoming harder and harder to find these days, they have a wonderful selection of ales and stouts, one of which is called By Any Beans Necessary, and is a coffee stout. It is 6.6%, so you only need one or two and you're already 4 beers in, if you know what I mean. And they serve it in 2 halves because you can't serve it as a whole, apparently. So 2 halves of that on me next time you go. I travelled to see the old pub I used to live in, which was around here. It's called Ley Hill, built on a ley line
On the corner here is where they used to hang people. It's where I went to primary school. We used to play down in the golf course and steal the golf balls off the golfers, which I suppose is not very nice for the golfers, but we had a lot of fun. The Dingley Dells. Arrived here at the Swan Pub in Lay Hill, which is where I used to live when I was a small boy. And surprised to find it's closed down. It's a real shame. The living room, front door, office, snug, where the old men used to smoke their pipes. Restauranty bit. A well I used to play in. And a golf course I used to steal golf balls off. And it's all overgrown, a bit like a Hogsmeade pub. So time doth march forward, no longer the heights it once was. Kind of sad, really. Oh, look, a barber shop. Oh look, another barber shop. Wait, is that a barber shop? Another performer who is very dear to my heart is, of course, the genius writer and excellent comedian Ronnie Barker. He started his career here in Aylesbury and performed at the Waterside Theatre, which is in fact where I am performing with Calamity Jane for the week. And it's just a complete and utter honour to be treading the same boards that man once did. If you'd like to follow further along with the tour of Calamity Jane, I shall be doing as many weekly videos as I can of the tour. We're on the road for 9 months, but our wonderful star playing Calamity Jane herself, Carrie Fletcher, has her own channel where she's doing a diary of the show. I'm doing more about the areas that we visit over the period of time and the theatres as well. So if you have any questions, please pop them in the comments below, and or any advice for where we're going. As to where I should go, what coffee shops would be good, what I need to see in different places. The next place is Manchester, then after that we're going to Southend, which I'm very much looking forward to because I've never been and I've heard they've got a pier and there's like amusements on the pier. But for now, next stop, Manchester.